So let's take a look at the dashboard today, have a look at some of the options available in there and what each of them means. So make sure you're signed in to your admin account on Seller, and from the admin panel, look to the left and select View and then Dashboard. Now I'm going to just flick it over here to start with. So we've got at the top, we have today, yesterday, last 30 days, last 3 months and last 6 months. So obviously each of those just represents the time period that it's stating. So if we click on any of the grey bits here to see the different time period, we'll see the numbers going up and down. Let's go for the last 30 days because this is the most interesting one. Starting at the top left, we have the amount of visitors, and we can see here over the 30-day period, this is the dates at the bottom, and this here is the amount of people, that we've had 1,215 hits over the last 30 days. So this just gives you a visual representation of the traffic on your website over that time period. Moving to the right, we can see traffic source, which is where the traffic is coming from, obviously. At the top here we have direct, which means someone directly typing your domain name into the address bar and being directed straight to the website. Referrals is related to people who come to your website from other sites. So if they haven't searched through Google or any other search engine. So if somebody posts a link to your store on social media or from another website and they are directed to your store from there, it counts as a referral. And finally here we have search engines, which is pretty self-explanatory. This is traffic directed to your store from search engines like Bing or Google. So you can see here we actually got the numbers next to it as well. So I've had 422 direct traffics or sources, 20 referrals and 3 from search engines. The pad on the right here, top referrals, indicates the websites that people have been directed to your store from. So this top referrals directly links to referrals right here. So you can see I've had a number of hits on this site from these particular URLs. Baidu is an interesting one because that is the Chinese version of Google. So not too sure how my site's ended up there, but it is, so it's probably good. Moving down left, we can see total sales over the last 30 days. So you can see that I'm not doing particularly well on my store, which is to be expected, seeing as I'm not actually selling anything there. It's just used for demonstration purposes. Gives you at the top here the amount that's actually been sold. So £178 worth of items has been sold in inverted commas properly on this store. Next one is website conversions. Website conversions is the amount of visitors to your site that have been converted from a visitor to an active participant. So somebody who visits and then purchases an item effectively. So in this image here, we can see 2.47% of visitors added something to the cart, 0.9% reached the checkout, and only 0.2% have actually purchased anything from visiting the store, all of them me. Top sellers, next one on the right there, are the items that have been sold the most. Nice and simple. If we scroll down a bit further, we now have the activity feed. And the activity feed shows the names of customers and the actions that they conducted whilst on your store. So we can see here this fake name, David Brummett. He had an order processed, and that happened on the 7th of April at 10 past 3 or 11 minutes past 3. So yeah, you can just check out exactly who's been there or the names of the customers if they are within your CRM. Otherwise, it will probably just show an IP address or not show them at all. Next below that, we have paid sales so far this month. Again, fairly self-explanatory. So it tells you there from the months of January up to December, or compared to January to February, December, sorry. And then we have the months and the total number as well as the value that was sold on those bits. And then below that, we have total sales for the last 6 months. Exactly the same again, just breaks it down into these chunks for you to view. The system will predict sales based on what you've already made. So it's predicting that I'm going to make £447 next month, which would be very nice, but is definitely wrong because it is predicting. And obviously, as I say, I'm not actually selling anything. Prospects to customer conversion rates. So a prospect is somebody who visits the store, maybe puts something in the basket and then leaves. The conversion to a customer occurs when they actually make the purchase through the checkout process. So I've had one, actually, which was probably me testing some item that I'd popped up there for these videos. Next one, the average customer spend over this 3 year, 2 year, 1 year period. Obviously, I have no data here because it has not been set up for that long. And then below that, for all of these last ones, we have the top 10 searches this month, last month, sources this month, sources last month, and then sources in February. So quite simply, the top 10 searches would be the searches people have made on your site for items, and it would record it here and show you what they've looked for. And the same for last month. And then the top 10 sources for this month and last month directly refer to your traffic sources here at the top. So that would be bulked out with different sources as it gets, as more and more people visit. And finally, top 10 sources in February, exactly the same as before. Thanks very much.